In GIS, that is Geographical Information System, there is an important word or combination of word called information system. So when we combine geography with information technology, that is computer science, then we say it as a GIS. So there are certain computer programming languages and various IT technologies which will be used, or database technology which will be employed in a GIS and are of good importance for us to learn. So in this particular presentation, I'll go through this aspect of GIS. So programming skills are basically not essential, but they are useful for our spatial data processing and customization. For example, if we talk about computers, the processor, we say it is a brain or a heart of the computer, as it controls the flow of information around the system. And the processor requires instruction telling what to do, and these are provided by operating system through itself or by the user. And all instruction to the processor are in machine code, that is 0101 binary. If I may show you, this is the basic block structure of a computing device. We have input, we have output. This is an external memory. Inside this, there are processor, memory, RAM, that is random access memory, and hard disk. Now we have SSDs called the SSD devices also. They are in close conjunction. So coming to programming language, machine code are represented, as I earlier mentioned, in binary digit, that is bits. And bit is what? It is of one byte is of 8 bit. And machine code is not very much known to, or it's quite unintelligible to the human. So instructions are normally provided using a language which can be translated into machine code, and we call these languages as high level languages. So low level languages are machine code 0101 10, and high level languages are the languages like C, C++, Python, which we call as high level languages. Then coming to assembly languages, each processor has its own assembly language, and assembly language provide a very detailed control using mnemonics there, and it is very specific to the processor, and it takes a lot of steps to do even simple things. And for example, for following adding two numbers, you have certain assembly code like this. This is just an example. Sum of two numbers, C. Those who have a fair idea of programming languages, this is intermediary between a machine code and your high level language. This is called assembly language. And translation is what? Converting the code to your machine code. And this is done through a program called assembler and deassembler. So high level languages are translated by either interpreter or compiler. So compiler and interpreter, what it does, it converts your high level language into machine language that is understandable by the computer system or a processor, which is in the form of 0110. And interpreter is it changes to machine code high level language line by line, and compiler at one go. Interpreters, as I explained, one by one, and it is very slow as compared to the compiled languages. Like for example, if we talk about Java is compiled and interpreted both. That is why it is somewhat slower than C, C++, which are totally compiled languages. And compilers has 3 steps: compiling, linking, and executing. And it does it at a go, as I mentioned, and it is saved as a executable, that is .exe. High level languages are languages which are very close to English. We program through it, and see, for example, C languages, developed by Dennis Ritchie. and run faster than other high-level languages, but quite difficult to learn, but I don't think so. It is a good language. Once you have a command on this, C is a basic building block of other languages too. And for example, formula translation, Fortran and basic, they are quite easy to learn. Fortran is a compiled language and basic is interpreted. What is platform independence? That you make a program in X system, you want it to run it in Y. There may be certain problem, but Java overcome this problem. Java is machine independent because there is a bytecode which is being generated and JVM at certain machine. Every machine has this Java virtual machine, and this machine interprets then the bytecode, and that is how the Java is called a machine independent language. And talking about the paradigms, there are two type of paradigms, where may be procedural and other may be object oriented. Procedural means the program is divided into various modules, and these modules are called through one function called main, and finally a final result is produced. Where object oriented, we make classes, and every class has objects, and the communication is done through the object basically. Procedural language, as I mentioned, that these are based on procedures or different programs and run the job as a batch. So function for each input output devices. This is a short idea of procedural languages. And object oriented language, as I said, that these are based on our different classes, and we make object of class, like man is a class or school is a class, and we make an object. Every object has a characteristic of that class, and then we have polymorphism, we have data abstraction, and various aspects of object oriented programming. So just going through this, then coming to web scripting language, because everything is on web right now. So we have the basic HTML, and everything is on HTML only. It was previously SGML, but HTML has grown to various other languages called PHP and all, and ASP. Every has a touch of HTML. So early web pages were static. So new scripting languages like JavaScript, VBScript, TCL, PHP, which are dynamic. The result come as per the requirement, not static. Whatever you have written is not like that, and mostly interpreted either on client side or a server side. Then programming structure. Procedural programming is essentially sequential means one line, second line, third line, this type of thing. And we have certain if-else condition, for condition, looping, flow diagram, and this programming construct is there. So these are if and else looping example. If this, then this, else this. These are the looping construct and decision control constructs. Then procedures. Procedure, again I said that procedures means a main program or a main task is divided into different parts. These subparts are called procedure, routine, subroutine, or a function, and they do their work, and they submit their result to the main function, and finally the main gives the result. Example is this: we have certain function, and this is giving a result of sum. Modularity, again modularity means whether it is possible for us to break the program or the task into modules, means different parts. And object oriented programming, again a class and object concept. We have object which has set of characteristics and set of actions which it can do. We say that as a function, and the current state, whether it is active or that kind of stuff. And encapsulation, as I said, there are certain characteristics like for an object oriented paradigm, for an object oriented programming to follow that, as encapsulation, polymorphism, data abstraction, and overloading, these kind of things. This is a PHP example, simple PHP example. PHP is a post hypertext PHP is one of the most important web technology right now, and it is used in mostly websites which are running like Facebook and all. Inheritance is one of the aspect of our object-oriented programming, that is the child inherit the properties of the parent. Again, the polymorphism, then we represent all these things through unified modeling language, that is UML. With inheritance, as I said, that any car may be sedan or wagon, they inherit the property of the car. Aggregation means, see this symbol, you can see that there is aggregation. A tuner cassette is in radio, and these all are in a car. An association, car runs on gasoline, car is driven by a person. Then instantiation, holiday, overdrafting holiday. The components are various programs, you can say, which make your system or a software more comprehensive, more workable. So this may be OLE, object link and embedding, COM, component object model, DCOM, code. This is Corba, and this is JavaBeans.net. These are all GIS. So thank you so much. These are the technologies which I developed. I have developed this particular presentation to actually make the other presentation in GIS more informative, because this presentation was actually a computer science presentation. Thank you so much.